This is Mr. Chucky. If you're watching this, you're definitely at the right place. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking that subscribe button down there. And I promise you that will make your academic problems of accounting a thing of the past. Now, let's get into our last final cash budget lesson. Now, in this lesson, they're saying that we are dealing with stone stores. They're saying the information from the records is for the budgeted period ending 31 December 2021. The business is owned by Glue Dash and they sell furniture. Number one, complete the debtors collection schedule presented in the answer book, and this is for 8 marks. So, guys, when it comes to the debtors collection schedule, you need to be able to complete it by looking at your policy. So, let's get what the information says. The information says goods are sold at a markup of 75%, and then on cost, and then they're saying cash sales amount to 40% of total sales. So obviously it means that credit will be equals to 60%. Remember, a percent is out of 100, right? Now here they're saying credit sales are collected according to the following trend: 40% in the month of sale, and then they receive 5% discount. So 40% it's in the same, and then uh 45% in the month following. So this one will be the first, and then they're saying 12% 2 months after the sale. So this will be the second, and then they will write off bad debts probably at the end of the month. So let's check which ones do they want, what do they want us to get first. So in our creditors collection, we can already see now that firstly they want us to calculate the credit sales. I mean, in our debtors collection, they want us to firstly calculate our credit sales for December. So we're going to go to our December and look at our total sales. Remember, credit sales is total sales here. It's out of 100, and in credit sales it's 60. So it means for us to be able to calculate our credit sales, we are going to say 630,000 multiply by 60%. It will give us 378,000. So that 378,000 will be written here, and then that's your first mark. Okay, and then after this we need to go to our sales. We're going to check now. If you look at the credit sales from October, this is what we are going to do for October. We same as already been calculated. So for October, remember, after October the first is November, right? Is November, so which has not been calculated. They only calculated the same. So we're going to calculate for the first and the second. So remember the policy in terms of the first, it says that it's 45%. So we're going to calculate 45% and 12%. So for October we will say 405,300. 405,300. The first, remember the policy says that the first is 45%. So 405,300 multiply by 45 divide by 100. It gives us 182, and then 385. So it's 182,385, right? And then remember, in the second they are, so it's 45300 multiplied by, so for October 1st November, 45300 multiply by 45 divided by 100, and then the second they are multiplying by 12, right? So here we'll change to 12%. 12 divided by 100, which is 48,636. Okay, so I'm going to check it again. 405,300 multiplied by 12 divided by 100, it gives us 48,636. Now for November, we'll only calculate the same because that is what is required from us. Okay, so for November, the same. We're going to say 388,500 multiply by, remember same is first month, multiply by 40 divided by 100, and then we multiply it by 95 divide by 100, which is 147,680, right? So that 147,680 will come here. Now they have not required to do you to do the totals, hence those totals are blocked, so it means it's not necessary for you to calculate them. Then next they want you to calculate the cash sales for November. So what we are going to do, we are going to go to our total sales. Our total sales for November is 647,500. So I'm going to say 647,500, and then we multiply it by 40 divided by 100. Remember, cash is 40%. Okay, and then we will get our answer. So 647,500 multiplied by 40 divided by 100 is 259,000. So we will write that 259,000 here. And then once we are done with this, we go and calculate our rent income. So let's hear what they are saying about rent income. So in terms of rent income, they are saying that the rent income is expected to increase by 9% from 1 December. So we need to go and check in our answer book where Roman figure number 1 is. So for December, obviously, according to our information, it will increase. Remember here, they gave you rent income for November, which is 10,200. Okay, so obviously, once it increases, it becomes more. Now we will say 10,200 multiplied by, remember in December it will be more, they gave you November, so we will multiply it by 109 divided by 100. This is similar to the 2022 paper. Okay, so we'll say 10,200 multiplied by 109 divided by 100, and then it gives you 11,118. Then you're done with this. Then next, they're saying calculate the loan that will be received in November 2023. So let's hear what they're saying. They're saying that a loan will be received on 1 November 2023. But they're saying a fixed monthly repayment will be paid at the end of each month. Interest of 13% will also be paid at the end of each month. So what we need here, remember, to calculate your loan received, you need your interest as well as the months. So we need just two things: interest, the months, and the percentage. Is actually three. So the percentage is now known to us. So remember, when it's like this, you use the reversal method that I showed you. So interest on loan, for, remember they said the loan will be received in November. So interest on loan, according to this, is 5,200. So it means when you calculate it, the loan, you are going to say 5,200 multiplied by 100 over 13, and then you multiply it by 12 over 1. Remember, this is where you do the reversal. This question is very common, you might get it. So 5.2 multiplied by 100 divide by 13 multiply by 12 divide by 1. It gives us 480,000. Okay, so we are done with this part. Next, they're saying calculate payment to creditors in December. Now, when it comes to payment to creditors, guys, this is what you need to do. You need to check if there are drawings that happened, but those drawings of stock, they need to be attached to that transaction that talks about payment to creditors. They should be part of this part of purchases and payment to creditors. That's how they click us. So if they are not included in this part, it means you, when you do your calculation, don't include the drawings of that of stock, because you don't know whether they took from the stock that they bought or not. Okay. Okay, so So now let's check what they're saying with regards to payment to creditors. They're saying stock sold is replaced in a month of sale, and then they maintain a stock base. And then they're saying all purchases of trading stock are made on credit. Creditors are paid in the month following the month of sale. So when it's like this, remember guys, they gave you markup. So we are looking for a payment that will be made in December. So obviously it means I bought a I'm going to use the cost of sales of the month before. So we will say 647,500, 647,500 multiply by 100 divide by 175. And then remember they told us that they buy all the trading stock on credit. So it means there won't be a need for me to separate between cash and credit for those purchases. Okay, so it will be 647,500 multiplied by 100 divided by 175, which will give us 370,000. And then after this, they're saying we need to calculate the insurance for November 2023. So with regards to the insurance, they're saying that insurance will decrease by 6% from 1 December. Okay, so let's check if we are given November. So in terms of insurance, when we look at our answer book, the Roman figure that they want us to calculate for insurance is the amount before insurance decreases. Remember here, it has decreased. So if you take 100, if you say 100 minus 6, you're left with 94%. So this represents 94% is the amount after the decrease. So you'd say 3,975. 3,975 multiply by 100, you divide by 94, because what you want is the amount before it decreased. Okay, according to here. So it will be 3,975 multiply by 100 divided by 94. Let's check something. Let's check something. So they said insurance. Oh, it's increased. Sorry, it's increased. So we want at the bottom, it has to be, you need to check the weights carefully. I didn't say this, it's increased. So obviously when it increases, it becomes 106, right? So on this 94, we will remove this and put 106, because remember it means the amount that we're given is actually more. So if we say 3,975 multiplied by 100 divided by 106, it gives us 3,750, because remember in December it was more. According to this, in December it is actually more. And then what they gave us the figure after the increase. Okay, next they're saying we need to calculate drawings. So in terms of our drawings, we need to hear what they are saying about our drawings. They are saying that the owner will decrease his drawings from 1 December to 7,500, and then they are saying that 25% of this will be in the form of stock. So we need to check the drawings. Obviously the drawings that they want us to calculate, it should be in the form of cash. Okay, because remember we don't include drawings of stock in the cash budget. So that's what we need to check what's given here. So here they want us to calculate our drawings, and then they gave us the amount before, right? They gave us the amount, this 9,500. Remember, it's okay, it's for November. And then they are saying that those drawings in December, they are going to be decreased according to that transaction, right? And then so obviously, in that 7.5, they are saying that 25% will be stock. So it means we'll say 7,500 multiplied by 75. That 75% will be 5,625 will be for cash. So we will say 7,500 multiplied by 75 divided by 100, which will be 5,625. Then you are done with this. Then we go to this one. Now, they say we need to calculate the percentage increase. Now, remember, you are doing this, your percentage increased. When it comes to your percentage increase, you need to be very careful. Your percentage increase is you use that, I think it's an inflation formula if I remember, in economics. Okay, so you just compare the difference between the current and the previous, and then you divide by previous, you multiply by 100. So we will check our salaries. And so obviously it means if there was an increase in salaries, we will see the month after, the last month will be more, which is 70,200, right? And then they say it's for office workers, so we will say 70,200 minus 67,500, and then we divide by 67,500, we will multiply by 100. Okay, so let's see, 70,200 minus 67,500, it gives us 2.7. So if we say 2,700 and then we divide it by 67,500, we multiply by 100, is 4%. Our answer is giving us 4%. Okay, then after this, they are saying explain 2 points why they should be satisfied with the increase that they will receive in December. So let's check. When we compare this, we will look at our information. Okay. Mm. Okay, so number one, what we must look at is that the increase of those office workers is in line with inflation. Uh so we must tell them the increase is in line with inflation rate target. And then also maybe we can look at our sales just to see if um there would be an increase. So when we check the percentage change in sales that we are anticipating, so if we say 630,000 minus 647,500 is 17,500. So 17,500 divided by 680,000 times 100. So they should actually be happy because sales will only increase. They should be happy because remember, number one, the sales have decreased by 17% when we compare, by I mean almost 3%. So they should be happy. They were actually supposed to get a reduction. So we can say sales will decrease by 3%, which is here, or some will say 2.77% in December. So they are actually giving them grace here. Okay, now next they're saying we need to calculate the total cost relating to the purchase of the vehicle. Okay, so this is what we need to check. Here they're saying details of the purchase of the delivery vehicle. A deposit of 20% of the market price of the vehicle will be paid. Now we know that that deposit is how much. According to here, they are saying we need to check how much is the deposit. So our deposit here, we will get the information in the cash budget. Okay, so our deposit on the vehicle is 76,000. So obviously that deposit of 76,000 will be part of our costs. And then they also said in terms of the delivery vehicle, they also said something that after the dealership has calculated total interest and finance charges at a monthly installment of 12,650, which will be paid for 36 months. So we'll need to say 12,650. Remember, this includes interest, right? So we'll say 12,650 times 36. We'll also say 12,650 multiply by 36. Let's see how much we are getting. 12,650 multiply by 36, which gives us 455,400. So therefore our total cost will be 76,000 plus 455,400. So it will be 531,400. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Now next they're saying identify 2 additional items that must be included in the cash budget once the vehicle is purchased. So obviously they are going to include vehicle insurance, and then they are also going to include fuel and maintenance. Remember that car, when it travels, it uses fuel. Okay, so so here they're saying, beside the possibility of increased sales, explain 2 other advantages of the business purchasing the vehicle. So the other advantage is that number 1, the business will save on salaries for, so remember when they buy their own what do you call, they buy their own vehicle, we also need to take a look at their cash budget and see the things that they were paying for. So they will save on, remember they used to pay for delivery expenses, right? So obviously they will save on delivery expenses. Fast D services. And then also the other thing that will help them is that they will be able to monitor deliveries made. Remember, when another company is delivering for you, you can't really track their vehicles, things like that. So at least when it's your own vehicles, you will be able to monitor the deliveries that are made by your workers. Okay, so guys, this is how you were supposed to answer this cash budget question. Okay, thank you so much for watching. May God richly bless you. All the best with your exam. I hope that this will really help.